too many weeks too late. But what they realize now is, okay, we can't do that. They've turned the season around. They're first place in the AFC West, and they're pushing for a high seed.
Yeah.
Maybe they can do it. Maybe they can't. But what we see now is they have a really good chance of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how, people don't really look at it from all they look at it as a player standpoint, but you have to look at it from an organization standpoint. And there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of moving parts and a lot of different egos and a lot of different voices. And if there's a, if the clock stops ticking or the wheel's not spinning correctly, it's going to affect everyone, whether it be a coach or whether it be a water boy. I mean, something can change the outlook of a player's mindset. It's this season is not last season.
Oh yeah.
Anything that went on last season was last season. That's over with, done with. And it's funny. Let's bring this up really quick because this is something that I did want to bring up. There was a report brought out at one point, or a comment about the way we were playing was directly involved with Britt Reed. We had mentioned on the show numerous times that wasn't a factor. And the reason why was because they're taking care of this issue. The Chiefs are, he is, and so is Andy. So we knew that this was coming. We knew about it. We made mention of it on the show and on Twitter, but that was still said. Then,
I think that's been debunked.
Oh, it has
People
been.
keep bringing that up. It's been debunked. So
here's the funny part about it is that not even, I don't know, I'd say probably a week after when that came out and our show came out talking about it, the family put out basically a statement. Harold Kuntz actually posted it that said, the Chiefs have really helped us. They've given us world-class health treatment for life for our daughter. Everybody has done everything to take care of, which we knew was coming. We knew this. We talked about it. And this is not affecting the way the Chiefs are playing and have played this year.
No, I think people were just trying to use that as a turning point, but obviously that's not true.
No.
So.
And it was kind of a weird way of even coming up with it. I mean, it's just very strange. But regardless, what's going on now has absolutely nothing to do with what went on last year. I noticed last year. Yeah,
this is a whole different, it's a completely different team.
Different
players,
yeah.
Everything. So, yeah, we lost the Super Bowl, but now we're in a different point to where they're showing us what they can do. And what we've seen from this aspect is that, number one, the Chiefs offense still needs to figure some things out. They've shown flashes, but they still need to figure stuff out. The defense, though, in my opinion, has taken the biggest step from last year to this year. Yeah. They have come full circle. Everyone, if you have Mahomes, they expect you to ball out.
Yeah.
With defense, though, man, I wasn't expecting to look that good. And Melvin Ingram is the deciding factor when Breach was able to bring him in. I know people wanted that was one guy from the Texans. He ended up torn his pectoral muscle.
Yeah.
It'd been nice to have him, but hey, I'd rather have Melvin Ingram at the end of the day. And like we said, man, he looks like a completely different player. He does. When we look at these different teams, you can compare the seasons, but the thing is, there are so many different things. That was a COVID year. That was frustrating because no fans were in the stands. The Chiefs really weren't able to build the team the way they wanted to. No to OTAs. There really wasn't a training camp to begin with. Pushing until now, we were able to have a training camp. They're able to have OTAs and different things like that. So when we look at this stuff at the end of the day, it just shows us look, yes, you can compare seasons, but there's different things that explain why they are different. 2020, that season was an anomaly. The Chiefs got every single break they could get until it came to the Super Bowl. And then when it came to that standpoint, no breaks were given.
Exactly.
But now we're figuring things out. And I tell this, JP, and I know you probably agree with me too. It's best to get those losses out of the way early in the season so we can figure it out towards the end. Because you do not want to do what the Chiefs did, basically 14-2 undefeated all the way throughout the playoffs and postseason, and they got to the Super Bowl and then basically laid a goose egg.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's 100%. I agree with you. I mean, we had it was a terrible game all the way around, and a lot of it, there was so much of that had to, do with our offensive line. 80% of it as far as the offense was concerned. Defensively, I think they were just worn out because they were still a great defense. They were just worn slick. They were on the field so much during that game.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I said, there were statements made at halftime that they knew that they didn't have a shot, with the things that were going on with the way that, the refs were calling and the things that, just everything in general. They knew they didn't have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
There is a difference between this team now. And I got to tell you, man, Willie Gay, I am so happy for him. And I'll tell you, those 3 weeks that he took off to get his head straight was the best thing he could have done for himself. Because I'm going to tell you now that was this guy. He is phenomenal. He is a phenomenal player.
Yes.
Hats off to that dude. He's fought through it. Look, there's no other injury worse than mental injury. And it can take its toll on your whole life. Everything. It can make your body hurt. It can make you don't know how to think. You don't know how to focus. You don't know how to do a lot of different things. He has fought through it. He did the right thing. He took that time to evaluate or reevaluate and get his head on his shoulders. And he came out stronger than ever. And in fact, I got a video of him. I think you saw that video too, of him out on the practice field before anybody, his first practice back. Man, you could tell his foot, he didn't even do any really warm-ups. He didn't stretch anything. There was no foot issues at all. He was moving like a madman. He was just on fire. And it was great to see him step out of that mental state that he was in and be able to come out. And he's so happy right now. You can see it, dude. He's so happy. It's great to see him just excited to be out there and play.
Do you think this can translate against the Broncos?
Oh, I do. I 100% agree. I 100%
so between him and Bolton, do you think that they're going to be able to stop the run game?
Yes. Yes, okay. I do. I think him, Bolton, I even think, Hitchens, Bolton, Willie Gay, all those guys combined are going to put a stomp down on their run game. I don't know how great their run game is, because you got to compare it to strength of schedule and about a lot of other things, strength of defensive line and of many other factors that go into it to see, they may have a 100-yard rusher in one game and they may have a 12-yard rusher in another game. It's kind of like how Henry was with us. He was tearing people's heads off in every single game, and we held him to 69 yards in that game, not this year, but prior. And this year we held him to hardly any yards. The mistake is that we didn't account for the secondary. Yep. And we didn't have Melvin Ingram in there to help keep that defensive line together. So they were falling apart. Our secondary was kind of falling off their assignments. So then, yeah, of course you're going to have wide open guys in the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. But we have the tools to be a run stopping machine. This is the best I've seen us against the run in a long time. Mm-hmm. And I attribute a lot of that to Willie Gay. I really do. Guy's just an animal. Absolute beast. He's not afraid to hit anyone. Another one too, man. Let's just talk about Snead for a minute. Let's bring up Snead. Dude, I call him Breezy Jr. The guy has no fear. He's aggressive. Yeah, and you know what? I have yet to hear anybody complain about the few penalties he's drawn, but you're going to draw penalties when you're good. Mm-hmm. We said this about Breezy and everybody bitched about him, but he is phenomenal. He is probably the best rookie or young CB out there in the game. And really, if you really consider it, this probably really should be considered his rookie season because he didn't get to play a whole lot his first year. He got injured. He was out for the entire season after week 3 or 4?
But when he did play, he played really well.
He played very well. I mean, 3 games into the season, and he had 3 picks. I think it was 3 games into, or no, it was 4 games into the season. He had 3 picks.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then he got hurt. He was out for the rest of the season. So really,
he was hurt and then he came back.
Yeah, he did come back, but he wasn't back.
He still got some interceptions, though. He wasn't like shut down.
Yeah. Now he just looks like, God, man, he looks so good out there all the time. His football IQ's off the charts. He learns very quickly and he adapts very quickly. And his vision is fantastic. I mean, he's got great vision. He reads very well. He reads offenses extremely well. Can't say enough about that dude. Marcus Kemp. Dude, what about our cornerback room? I mean,
I told you, man, we have probably one of the best in the league. That's why I know when we're going against the Broncos, we can easily shut down their offense, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, if we held them to no touchdowns and maybe a field goal or two, it wouldn't surprise me a bit. And I know Tyrann Mathieu is itching to shut someone out. I know that whole defense is right now. And they actually thought they were going to be able to do that at one point. And then, of course, Sorensen let that touchdown happen. But they came close to shutting somebody out this season already. They're itching right now to shut somebody out. And I would love to see it be the Broncos. I really would. You know, the Broncos have, you know, they feel like they've got an edge on us for some reason. I don't know what that edge might be or where their mindset is with that. But it's going to be we're no easy schedule for them. And they got a rough road ahead of them coming Sunday night. And prime time with Mahomes, dude, that's a scary combination when you put prime time Mahomes together and a badass defense. That's a lot of trouble just waiting to happen, you know?
I agree.
So I hope everybody out there really looks at this team and starts praising what they do, because you know, you can't nitpick the little things. You got to pick out all the great things. And we've got a lot of greatness. We really
I agree. I think when it comes down to the end of the day, we just have to know there are going to be certain things that happen. There's going to be plays that go our way. There's going to be plays that are not going to go our way. There's going to be interceptions thrown, balls fumbled, missed catches. That's going to happen. But I think at the point, as I said earlier, JP, get those out of the way now. So we know what we're doing. I'm pretty sure they got most of that stuff out of their system. All we need is the defense continue to play at a high level, and we need the offense to continue to push through and score consistently. Because I think, honestly, we can beat anyone in the AFC. I believe if we run those games back we lost in the playoffs, we will beat them.
Yeah. If we were playing those teams right now that we lost against, you know, whether it be the Ravens or the Chargers, you know, any of those 4 teams that we lost against, if we were playing them with this defense we have right now and our offense clicking the way it is, we would probably I don't know if we'd have lost a game at this point.
I don't think we would have, because our team is just that great.
Yeah. And they're coming on so strong right now that I don't know. We look like a top 5, top 10 defense, and our offense, you know, look at Mahomes. He's still leading the league in passing yards. And some of the guys I think have already played that were like right there next to him. So what's the deal with you know, everybody keeps bringing up the Bills and they keep bringing up, you know, these other top.
The Bills are too wishy-washy for me.
They really are, man.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. They're up and down too much. You know, Josh Allen is definitely not the second coming of Mahomes, and I don't think anybody out there is. You know, Lamar had 3 interceptions the other night?
Yeah, they should.
You know, so you know, you go from one quarterback to the next that are these elite quarterbacks, and you know, during that game they were saying that he should be an MVP after 3 interceptions. You know, you got certain analysts and certain.
I mean, he still played. To be fair, he helped lead him to the victory, but some of the interceptions were kind of ugly. I'm not going to lie.
They were very ugly, and I think it's going to be a situation that, when it all boils down to it, you're going to see at the end of the season who the number 1 quarterback in this league is, and it's still going to be Mahomes. I think you're going to see Mahomes, Rodgers. I don't know, man. I think his mindset is on other places right now. I know he's looking into the future, and I don't know how the rest of his season is going to play out. I really don't. He's still one of the best. If you know, I mean, I think if you took a ranking right now, quarterback wise in the league,